When it comes to discipline for kids with ADHD, I hear so many parents saying stuff like, no consequences are working, or they act like they don't care about the punishment. And these parents aren't entirely wrong. Punishments for kids with ADHD often don't help, and more importantly, they can take a toll on the relationship between parents and kids. So what do you do when a child with ADHD does something they shouldn't, or that's really not okay? Well, let's talk about what works better than punishment for a child with ADHD.
If you're exhausted from trying punishments that just don't work with your ADHD child, you're not alone. Today, we're diving into why traditional discipline often fails, and more importantly, what science tells us works better. These strategies aren't just theory. They're game changers for real families dealing with ADHD challenges. And it's why so many parents feel frustrated when typical discipline approaches fall flat. When we shift our perspective from fixing bad behavior to supporting different brain wiring, everything changes. Think of it like trying to force a right-handed approach on a naturally left-handed child. It creates unnecessary struggle and doesn't honor.
Underneath the behavior are boredom, like they don't have enough stimulation, or the opposite, too much stimulation. It could also be hunger or feeling tired, especially since kids with ADHD often have sleep problems and not great quality sleep. It could be a need for attention or connection. Or with ADHD, impulsivity can be behind the misbehavior. Their impulse control, their ability to separate their feeling from their behavior, or in other words, pause before reacting, develops more slowly than neurotypical kids. So try meeting the need that was underneath their behavior. Like if they were tired or overstimulated and then hit, maybe it's time for a break with a quieter solo activity. Or maybe they're looking for more attention or connection with you. Say your guess of their need out loud and help them figure out a better way to get that need met. So you've stopped them from continuing the physical behavior, you got curious about why the behavior happened, and you've started modeling problem solving by showing or telling them other ways to get that need met, like taking a break to play alone for a bit, for example.
This is where the magic happens, parents. Instead of reacting to the surface behavior, we're diving deeper. It's like being a detective in your child's world. Maybe that hitting happened right before dinner or after a long day at school. These patterns tell us so much about what our kids actually need. When we address those needs directly, we often prevent the challenging behaviors before they start.
And this actually leads me to the next piece of this approach to discipline for kids with ADHD. But before I tell you about that, go ahead and tap that like button if you're finding this video helpful so far. I really appreciate it because it lets me know what kind of content you all are interested in, and it helps spread it to more families who may find it helpful too. So thank you for that. Now let's look at another punishable problem. Kids with ADHD often have trouble with transitions, like when they need to stop doing what they're doing to do something else. This difficulty with self-regulation can also cause problems when they want to do something, but they can't do it right now for whatever reason. Usually this trouble looks like some kind of tantrum or meltdown, maybe with yelling or stomping or something like that. And I think many times parents think it's not okay to react like that. Like it's not okay to yell or refuse when they need to clean up or put on their pajamas or turn off the tablet. But you have to remember, kids with ADHD have trouble regulating their emotions and their attention, so it's genuinely harder for them to stop doing something, especially something they really enjoy or are very focused on. And it's harder to start doing something else, especially if it's more challenging or less fun. So punishing them for yelling or refusing isn't going to really help them learn to do it better the next time. So instead of getting into a stalemate with a child, join them in coming up with a better solution. You could say something like, there's a problem and I need your help to solve it. You really don't want to go put on your pajamas. You'd rather stay and play on your tablet, but bedtime is in 30 minutes. What can we do? Try to have a child join in, coming up with some ideas. Learning to problem solve when they don't like something or when they're upset about something is a great coping skill. Maybe you decide there's some way you can say yes to what they want, at least partially. Maybe you decide that if they go put on their pajamas right now, they can use the tablet for 5 more minutes and then skip reading a book or bath or some other part of the bedtime routine. Or maybe you agree they don't actually need to wear pajamas to bed. It could be anything that helps to meet the goals you both have. Another thing to do here, instead of punishment for a meltdown, is to keep the behaviors in perspective and know that you can't fix everything at once. Is wearing pajamas or cleaning up their toys as important as being a kind person or a good friend? I think for the long term, what's most important is creating a safe and supportive relationship and home for your child.
Let's pause here because this is a total perspective shift for many parents. Think about how hard it is for us as adults to stop doing something we enjoy. Now add in ADHD brain wiring that makes transitions extra challenging. Instead of seeing refusal as defiance, we can view it as our child's brain struggling to shift gears. This understanding opens up so many more effective ways to help them through transitions.
This is why I like this quote from Attitude magazine that was something like, view their misbehavior as mistakes. Make your home and your presence a place where they can safely make those mistakes and then learn how to do it differently. I think this perspective not only makes us more compassionate parents, but it also gets at the core of what discipline really is, helping them learn to do something better. Just like we give kids with ADHD support at school through accommodations to help them learn, we need to accommodate how their brains and bodies learn about how to behave too. It's important to think outside the box from the typical approaches to discipline and punishment. So use your curiosity, join them in problem solving, and let the less important stuff go. Of course, there's more to learn about the kinds of support kids with ADHD really need. A lot more.
Today's insights aren't just about avoiding punishment. They're about building a stronger relationship with your ADHD child while teaching them vital life skills. Remember, this isn't about being a perfect parent. It's about being a present, understanding one. Every time you choose curiosity over punishment, you're helping your child develop the problem-solving skills they'll need throughout life. If these strategies resonated with you, hit subscribe for more science-backed parenting approaches that actually work in real life. Drop a light bulb in the comments if you've had an aha moment about your child's behavior today. See you in the next video, where we'll keep building our parenting toolbox together. Stay curious, stay compassionate, and remember, you're doing better than you think.